We all have a set of guiding principles, the preconceptions and generalizations regarding fundamental issues of one's life and of the entire world. No matter where we go, no matter what we do, we tend never to abandon our beliefs. These are things Prospector believes on Rock 107.
Using a combination of AI and CGI, someone should improve every Robert De Niro film so we can enjoy his great acting without being distracted by that mole. Shouting angrily at other drivers is a basic human right, and it's good for the soul. People who prank someone with the saran wrap over the toilet should be hit with the pointy end of a rake.
Well, now we know the reason he turned out the way he did. That was Things Prospector Believes on Rock 107. Breaking the news that's already broken. It's time for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
It's April Fool's Day. It's weird having a day honoring the people Mr. T pities. Dollar Tree is raising the maximum price of its items to $7. It's also changing its name to Liar Tree. A new study says music lyrics have steadily gotten dumber since the 1980s. You know, back when we were all wang-chunging.
Making sure breaking news stays broken. Tune in tomorrow for Prospector's Briefs on Rock 107.
Day. I don't like April Fool's Day. Is it still a thing? Do people still do it? April Fool's Day comes out of back in the day. They changed calendars and moved New Year's Day, then made fun of people who didn't celebrate New Year's Day when they moved it to January. That's bullying, man. Can we just change the calendar and move the 4th of July? Now we use it as an excuse to play pranks on people, and often mean-spirited pranks. Yes, I hate April Fool's Day. It's easily my least favorite day of the year. Worse than Tax Day, even. What makes it worse for me is that people expect me to love it because I'm on the radio in the morning. You know, like a typical April Fool's Day prank. A morning radio show in Washington, D.C. told people they were giving away free guitars. And then people waited for people to show up at the station, and they got there in the parking lot, and then they came out and they said, okay, we're giving away our free guitars. They're free air guitars. And these jackholes pantomimed handing imaginary guitars to the people who showed up. You get it? I'm sure the hilarity of being handed an imaginary guitar completely outweighed wasting half a morning to drive to a place only to be ridiculed, okay? I'm sure only the hosts were laughing, and that's missing the point of a good joke or of being on the radio. April Fool's Day is an excuse to act like a bunch of 13-year-olds. Oh, you put tape over the laser on my mouse and it won't work. You put a sign on the copier saying voice control now and people are yelling at it. And when do you jump out and say psych? So you know what? Here's what you won't be getting. Any silly, moronic morning radio show pranks out of me. Yep. Add April Fool's Day to the list of things others love that I simply do not get. Haven't we outgrown this abusive trust, these simple-minded pranks, this obsessive need to gotcha someone? And if you're saying, hey, Prospector, you're being sensitive. You know what? If there's anything I've learned as I've gotten older, it's that I'd much rather err on the side of being too empathetic with others. Call me a baby, call me a wuss, whatever. I call adults who love April Fool's Day foolish. April Fool's Day. It's still a thing? Not here. Not on my show. It's time to have a little fun on the phones. Good morning, I'm Rock 107's Prospector. Today we are pranking Jamie because her friend Lisa called and said, hey, look, Jamie's like a super mom. She's an awesome woman and she does a great job with her kids and all that kind of stuff, but I would love for you to prank her with something about her kids that would really get her going. So I came up with the idea that I would need to rent, if you will, her kids. It's another Prospector prank call on Rock 107.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, I'm calling for Jamie.
This is she. How can I help you?
Jamie, hi, my name is Rick. You don't know me, but I live around the corner on Pine, and I drive by all the time.
Okay.
I see you out in the yard all the time with your kids. You have 2 young kids. How old are they?
Yes, they are 3 and 5.
Okay, 3 and 5. Perfect.
How did you get my number?
Your neighbor gave it to me. Lisa, she gave me your number.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So here's my question, and you'd be really helping me out. My fiance is having her parents come to visit. They're going to be here for a couple of days.
Okay.
And I'm getting a lot of pressure. Like, who is this guy? What's he all about? Is he going to be a good dad? Because they want to, they're big on family.
Okay.
And I thought it would be really cool if maybe I can give them a demonstration of what kind of dad I would be if you'd be willing. I think your kids are the perfect age where I could have them come over, do some entertaining stuff, kind of make a display for my future in-laws like, hey, I'm going to be a great dad. Because, it's not that hard to parent kids. If you'd be interested, I'd love to have your kids over and we could do some activities and stuff like that.
Well, first and foremost, I don't know if my kids will be comfortable with it.
I would get used to them first. You'd come over before. They're not coming for a while, so you're fine.
Okay. But I don't feel comfortable because I don't know you. I understand you're a neighbor. That's fine. But I don't feel comfortable with my 3-year-old and 5-year-old going to your house and meeting strangers.
My wife's going to be there, of course, my future in-laws too. So the kids wouldn't be alone. There'd be plenty of people around.
Yeah, but my kids still don't know you
it's
or your wife.
It's a great thing for us to get to know each other. Don't you agree?
Yeah, that's true. But just so you can borrow my kids. Sounds like you want to borrow my kids.
I'm not trying to borrow your kids. I would compensate you for the time they spend, and we could just...
Well, that means it sounds like you're renting my kids.
Look, it would be whatever you want to negotiate for money. I'm not trying to make it weird like your kids are being, used.
I'm not telling you that you're not going to be a good parent. It's just not a good idea. And I don't think it would be best for you either, just because jumping into acting as a parent to a 3 and 5-year-old, you would not be able to handle it, and it wouldn't be a good outcome for you.
I would disagree with that. I would disagree with that right away. How hard could it be? My point is, it's not that hard to take care of kids. Let me handle that part.
No.
You just be happy. You get your money. The kids are happy. They get their candy.
So you don't know what it is to raise a 3 or a 5-year-old.
Here's what I know about kids.
First of all,
it's not that hard. Everybody overcomplicates.
Oh, no.
It's super easy. You just make them happy.
Parent, you ask.
Okay, please. It's simple. I know what the industry's like, all right? Oh, my life's so hard. I'm a parent.
Parenting
I never
is
have my
not
own
an
time.
industry, first of all.
Please.
Parenting is a business. It's not a business.
I can make a kid laugh. And that's all it takes. That's a dad's job. I could do it. They come over. We'll have a bounce house. We'll have some fun. I'll have a magician come over.
I'm saying no.
Well,
nope.
You're missing out, right?
Nope. That's just like putting up a circus for a bunch of kids. No.
Yeah, that's what a dad does.
Nope.
Yeah, it is. A dad's there to make sure the kids are having fun.
No, a dad is there to teach them lessons, to be loving and caring.
And the lesson is life is fun. Let's have some fun. That's it.
Not all the time, no.
I know what your problem is. You're afraid when your kids get home, they're going to see how boring you guys are, and they're not going to want to stay with you.
Excuse me?
Yeah, that's what it is. I knew it.
Such a Why are you... You don't know about parenting.
I'll tell you what I'll do.
I'll tell you
one thing I know one thing I know is you're on the radio right now. This is a prank call.
Excuse me?
Yeah, it's a prank call. It's a Prospector prank call.
Oh my God.
It's Prospector. It's not real. You're on Rock 107 right now.
I swear.
Lisa did give me your number. She said you're a really good mom and I can have some fun with it.
Oh my God, she's going to hear from me. I was ready to go through the phone.
Let me ring your kids.
Choke you. Oh my God, that was something.
Life's pretty tough right now. There's plenty of bad news, but it's not all bad. It's time for the brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
While you might be hitting Interstate 81 north next week and driving to Watertown, New York to see it, this chaser gets to stay put. A 105-year-old Eclipse chaser is gearing up to see his 13th next week. His name is Laverne Beiser. His first eclipse was in Maine in 1963, and he's traveled the world to see him. But he won't have to go anywhere this time. He lives in Fort Worth, Texas, so the path of totality is going right over his house.
Thanks. We needed that. The brighter side of Prospector on Rock 107.
It was a game changer that took the world by storm when it was first announced April 1st, 2004. Good morning, I'm Rock 107's Prospector. Wait, wasn't that an April Fool's Day? Oh, yeah, indeed, just like today. But Google was already known for its cheesy pranks, and they had everybody second-guessing reality. Remember the spinning wheel debacle in 2000? Yeah, that was Google's doing, teasing users with the promise of telepathic searches, only to serve up error messages suggesting removing their hats, glasses, and shoes. Classic Google, right? Well, fast forward to Gmail's grand entrance. Gmail offered a whopping 1 full gigabyte of storage, absolutely free of charge, in 2004. And people were like, hold up, is this another one of Google's April Fool's jokes? I mean, they're boasting about giving us 1 full gigabyte of storage for free in 2004. That's like a gazillion emails, right? Meanwhile, poor old Yahoo's over there struggling to keep 50 emails without crying. Sorry, Yahoo, it's true. Or it was true. And let's not forget the magic of Gmail's search ability. Finally, hunting down that elusive email became a thing of the past. And suddenly, finding that one email from Aunt Bertha about her cat became easier than finding your car keys. According to Google co-founder Larry Page, the birth of Gmail was sparked by a frustrated user drowning in the 4 megabyte email limit they used to have. And what better day to unveil this email revolution than April Fool's Day? Google knew the skepticism would only add to the buzz, and boy howdy did it pay off. Now, 2 decades later, with roughly 1.8 billion active accounts, more than the population of China, Gmail stands as a testament to innovation, efficiency, and a little bit of April Fool's magic. It's the best thing to come on April Fool's Day since the Sound of Music movie premiered on April Fool's Day in 1965. And I'm not kidding, it's like my favorite movie. No lie, no April Fool.
Streets, wandering, frightened and confused, completely unaware that today is April 1st.
I was told there was a loss of gravity on the east side of town and that small children were floating away.
Maybe you thought to yourself, one day I'll help.
I was told there was a new pet tax and I had to bring my dog in to be weighed.
But the victims of April Fool's Day pranks don't have until the 12th of never. They need your help now.
Then I heard there was a gravity surge on the west side of town and the traffic was at a standstill.
For just pennies a day, you can provide help to those who need it most. For more information, call 1-800-SEND-ME-A-CALENDAR.
Ladies and gentlemen, grab the kids, call your neighbors, and gather round the radio.
It's now time to announce the winner of Prospector's Jam Bag of the Day, as decided by you at rock107.com.
We uncover the most baffling, ridiculous, pathetic, cockeyed, laughable, preposterous blunders in the world of misdeeds. Nominee number 1.
Sometimes the gap between hero and villain is narrow, although usually it's obvious for most people. A 37-year-old man in North Carolina named Christopher Miglino was arrested Wednesday after he refused to leave the scene of a fire. Now, he started out as a hero. He showed up before the fire department and whipped out a garden hose and tried battling the fire. But when the actual firefighters showed up, they repeatedly asked him to leave, and he wouldn't. And it sounds like basically he was saying, "It's cool, guys. I've got this." It's just that he was wearing some kind of FDNY fire gear, and he's also getting in the way of the firefighters doing the actual job. He was hit with 3 charges.
Nominee number 2.
A front loader is one of those construction vehicles that's got that big bucket on the front. Needed to get that out of the way because this story has not 1, but 2 of them. A police department near Atlanta got a call last week after an ex-employee at a waste management company showed up and took a front loader for a spin. His name was Eddie Sanchez, and he's 38. The company had fired him in September. He was still driving it around the lot when cops got there, but he took off and started driving down a public road. Multiple patrol cars chased after him, but the thing weighs about 75,000 pounds, so not much they could do. But then a quick-thinking cop went back to the business where a current employee agreed to hop on a second front loader and chase him down. The guy was a few miles away by then, so they gave the employee a police escort, and when he got there, he used the bucket on the second front loader to flip that guy. It landed on its side and no one was hurt. No property was damaged besides the front loader. Eddie is facing charges for theft, obstruction, criminal damage to property, eluding police, and reckless driving.
And the winner is
the wannabe firefighter with a garden hose who refused to leave a fire and was arrested. You're the Yam Bag of the Day, and we'll move on to Friday's Yam Bag of the Week competition. Keep it here for all the nominees for Prospector's Yam Bag of the Day Weekday mornings on Rock 107. Thanks for listening to Prospector's Prime Cuts podcast. Be sure to catch us live weekdays from 5:30 to 10 a.m. on Rock 107 or online at rock107.com or the Rock 107 app, a free download for your Android or iPhone. Subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher Radio, or wherever you get your podcasts so you never miss Prospector's Prime Cuts.